Out again, please. Raise your hand if you would like to make a difference. Now raise your hand again. The contrition you make, it lives beyond you and becomes a sajda jariyah. And in fact say I. So where we are today, we are overgrown. We had about 400% growth in the last 7 years since the inception of MCE. We are at the mercy of different holes. Even after throwing good money, we have to change so many things at the last minute. We are struggling to keep with our madrasa capacity. And unfortunately we are saying no to a lot of parents, which is not the right thing to do. Most of you experience, yes, the hall is big enough here, but the facilities aren't that great, especially the stairs that our sisters are using, they're not ideal. So just imagine yourself here, where you got own your fit for purpose center, where we can have all our programs all year round, where we can have run madrasas, we can provide facilities, 21st century facilities for our children, and we can continue doing the great stuff rather than worrying about whether we're able to run the program or not. So would you agree with me, brothers, that if that's where you are and that's where we need to get to, we need to do something different, yes or no? Yes. So the point I'm talking to you about today is about center. We have looked at a number of different options to see whether we can move into different building. Just a little bit of a history about the MCE itself. It started from Brother Tabri's living room in 2010, and alhamdulillah, this is the 7th year running that the MCE will be able to facilitate Muharram programs. And we normally get the gatherings of between 900 to 1,000 people. In the first couple of years, we responded to the needs, and alhamdulillah, with the generosity of all the mu'mineen, mu'minat, and the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we managed to buy 2 buildings. But the problem with the growth comes is that if we become complacent, we become stuck. And that's exactly where we are for the last few years. Most of you have seen the challenges we have with Isaac, and some of brothers are still dealing with the aftermath, but we need to do something different. In terms of the activities for the MCE, there's regular Friday prayers at Frankfurt Club, and recently we started facilitating sisters as well. There's Thursday's program, Dua Josh and Kabir on Saturday, all the Wilada program for Masumeen, and all the Shahadat and Eideen. In addition to that, we have children madrasa. And I think one thing MCE has been really proud of is actually striving to bring the true teaching of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. And you've seen the number of quality speakers we had throughout the years. And one thing which was our sort of pride trademark for the last few years is the timekeeping. Unfortunately, we struggled a bit this year because of the last minute venue changes and stuff. So in terms of our center itself, we looked at a number of different options, but we come up with a proposal that we can extend the existing center in 3 phases. Most definitely true, but there's a potential to go for the 3rd one as well. So the first phase will give us about 180 square meter hall, which is slightly smaller than this gents hall. I don't know how big the sisters hall is. But also if you compare it with the halls we got presently at the moment at MCE, both halls combined is 120 square meters. So it's about 150% of the hall we have now. In the second phase is another 120 square meter hall. So all in all, we will be increasing our capacity by about 250% in those 2 phases. Obviously, everything in life, anything worth having costs something. Sometimes, if you look at the sacrifice of Imam Hussain, he gave everything. So for us, it's a very, very small contribution to make, some financial contribution. And alhamdulillah, we've got a team of a lot of Mu'min brothers. They've given us their time, the architecture services, builder services or whatever. but we still need help from everybody to donate generously. So for the first phase, we need about £180,000, and the second is about 120. So it's about £300,000 we need to pledge for. I spoke to some of you on Monday, and just by show of hands, if you already pledged or you're looking to pledge, could you raise your hand, please? If you got your hand up, would you mind to stand up, please? If you don't mind. Okay. Right. Right now, I'm just going to do a very small exercise. I'm looking for 5 volunteers who think that they can save £5 a day for the next 40 days. Anybody will take me up on that offer? So there's one.
We can do better than this, Mu'mineen, in the name of our Hussein, please.
Yeah. So 5 brothers who think that they can save £5 a day for the next 40 days until our rain. Right. So what I would like you to do is that one of you will take care of that group. So 5 times 5 is 25, and 40 days, that gives you a grand total of £1,000. So to raise £1,000 is not that difficult. The next bit is, I appreciate £1,000 for one individual is a lot of money. But if one person's trying to save £5 every week, you can save, and if you do the same grouping, you can do it in 20 weeks. So it's still less than 6 months. So the message here is, because I was with Sheikh Mohsin, the ones who are familiar with him, he's the principal of Jamia Al-Bayt in Islamabad. And there was an opening of a madrasa in Dudyal near Chekwal. And a few of the Mu'mineen were asking him that, what do you think, Maulana, would we be able to build this madrasa? And he said, look, this is Allah's cause and it's Al-Bayt's message. Madrasas will get built, but I'm worried about the ones of you who are going to miss the opportunity to be part of it. So whatever small help you can give, again, I can help you structure the, it's like everything else. If I get a parking ticket outside, I'll go and find the £60 from somewhere. So just take it, even if you take it as some sort of liability about yourself. It shouldn't be like that, but even if you just treat it something like that, sometimes our children want designer goods, all these gadgets, all of these things cost money. So let's put our hands together for the sake of Imam Hussein and give generously, and inshallah we'll have a center of our own where we can actually work on how the quality of program we can deliver to yourself, rather than just trying to worry about whether we can actually run the program today or not. And alhamdulillah, it's been a bit of blessing that we managed to speak to a lot of decent speakers, and again, our kind guest Sheikh here managed to engage him last year. So, and again, the feedback is absolutely tremendous from everybody that alhamdulillah, we strive to find the best speakers for the community, because it's all about getting the true message of Ahlul Bayt to everybody. So if anybody wants any particular detail about the design and spec or anything else, if you're on our database, then we'll be sending the presentation out to everybody, which shall have my contact details, the Breathe by, Farad by, and everybody else in the committee. So feel free to ask any question. If you think that there's any other way you can help and support the project, please come forward. And may I ask you to do a loud salawat at the end for all the volunteers' hard work.
Inshallah, just a couple of announcements before we, if you can all please kindly move forward. We're getting quite packed tonight. Please come as far forward as you can, as many spaces